All right. So, Donald Trump looks to cut taxes, may strain deficit. Yes, because that's exactly what it said, right? But that's the... Look at all this AI. Look at it. Most realistic game. Rage Schmadoschmedgens with its AI art that literally looks just like the other AI art or AI, whatever this is. It's like they took a picture of Hillary Clinton and made it AI. Man. Look, these judges are AI too. Everything's AI. Ah, gross. Bunch of boomers that were just like, hey, you know what we could use? We could use AI generative stuff. It's great for ads, you know? Everybody will, like, look at this. Illinois will cover the cost of solar if you live in these zips. No, they don't, actually. You get the rebate, but they do not cover the cost. Oh, shit. I literally just... Fuck. Wait. I go back. Haha. Alright, so Republicans lock on power in Washington next year will allow the president-elect Donald Trump to pursue an aggressive agenda of tax cuts for businesses, workers, and retirees. If that actually happens, then okay, fine. But we gotta... Is this the final nail in the coffin of actually like trying to use the deficit as a political game piece? Because at least for the Republicans, they can just say, we don't give a shit. It's all performative anyway. Alright, you know what? This actually kind of leads into my next topic here, so let's just do that. Early priorities are expected to include extending his tax cuts, funding for the wall, cutting unspent funds allocated by Democrats. Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah, see, if we're just gonna keep playing this game where you're gonna keep cutting like what the last guy just did, come on. That's just being completely like up your own ass because, you know, broken clock, you know, syndrome where at least twice you'd think that the Democrats might be right, but no. Gotta get rid of their entire agenda. Let's eliminate the Department of Education. Oh. Golly gee, that sounds great. Cool. Curbing powers from the Consumer Protection Agency, Financial Protection Bureau, the CFPB. So you know that if you like put your money into a bank, that's what keeps it from like if they go under, then you can get your money. Well, if that goes away, then you're fucked. So have fun with that one. Yeah. Who's happy about this? Like, what? If you're a Republican, how are you happy about that? I mean, go Trump, I guess? Yay? What the hell? View those priorities as the first step. A buoyant economy and job growth for the country. Yeah, except jobs will go down. Because if you guys kick out the immigrants, then jobs will go down. The economy go down. I don't know. In theory, fine. Institute all this and see if it works. Because the thing is, once it doesn't, it's all on you. It's all on the Republicans at this point. I think that's why they're so mad. Like, for real. Because I was gonna like cover this earlier, but Trump supporters really are just so angry right now, and I don't understand why. Like, you just got everything you want. Why are you so mad? And then you're like, oh, I think that they kind of understand that it's a little bit easier for them to be the victim if they're not in power. So it's also a referendum on how they can't govern. You know, that I think that like that wave just came rushing back where they were just like, oh, yeah, we really didn't govern that well. And what did we get? Yeah. Oh, yeah, they just kind of sold us on the fact that, the economy was so much better. But yeah, okay. Why? You never even said anything about that. But let's take a look at this, shall we? This kind of plays on to what I was saying yesterday. I made a video about Dave Smith specifically, which I don't think a lot of Trump supporters enjoyed. They're like, buyer's remorse? Who has buyer's remorse? The thing is, that's projection. The fact that they even said anything on in my comments, right? Because I was just like, oh, okay. Well, if you weren't worried about it, then you wouldn't have even said anything. But it seems like you're kind of worried about it. It seems like you may have gotten a little bit of an inkling that the tariff thing is not a good idea, and that, you know, they're already doing anticipatory job cuts, and you're trying to be like, well, it's under Biden. It's like, yeah, but you're doing the other thing where you're like, look, the stock market did so well in anticipation for Trump, but uh-oh. I love how you guys can have it both ways. It's so funny, which, you know what? That's very bisexual of you. So maybe that's why you guys are just also upset, is because you're just repressed in your own understanding. But yeah, let's check out Midas Touch, who I'm just going to go on the record here and say that they're clickbaity titles as much as I can, you know, I got to play the YouTube game too, but man, ooh boy, do they quadruple down on that kind of stuff. And on top of it, they have like 40 different videos a day. So it is crazy, but hey, that's a way to create a network. And honestly, they are kind of starting to rival TYT. I'm just wondering if they're ever going to have like the in-studio kind of show, or if they see that that's just a waste of time. And it doesn't look like it, though, because look at his backdrop. I think that we're going to start seeing some more in-studio Midas Touch network stuff. But yeah, let's take a look.
Some things, folks. We are getting more and more stories about people breaking away from their Trump-supporting friends, family, and spouses. Trumpers with small businesses are panicking now that their non-MAGA customers are refusing to patronize their stores. And as Trump voters see his disastrous picks for his administration, a Soros protege, a Fox host, Dick Cheney's...
we had a local situation there where on the next store app, the guy was going off about, oh, these wokies are killing my business. It's like, dude, can you ever just take personal responsibility? First, it was COVID that was almost killing your business, not the fact that, I don't know, you over leveraged everything. You also didn't do very good business before. I love these guys that are just like, you know how many people did that where they were already failing and then COVID hit and they were just like, oh, COVID totally put me out of business. Bunch of jackasses. His
former top advisor, Marco Rubio, potentially military hawks who want to see Israel annex Gaza.
Check that out. Soros protege, Dick Cheney's advisor, forever war neocon and dog killer. Yeah.
And the West Bank, they are now asking the question, and I am not making this up, have we been duped? My name is Brett Meiselas with the Midas Touch Network. Remember to hit subscribe and help us get to 3.5 million subscribers. So I've been telling you that these Trump voters...
they report. Like, that was totally disingenuous, because if you didn't notice right on the header here, can we go back and see it? Oh my God. Come on. There we go. Are RFK Jr. for president? Have we been duped? So again, I think that was totally just disingenuous reporting, because this was somebody that was an RFK supporter who took the endorsement, which, again, if you're playing the politics game, then you're like, these guys, I'm not sure if they were even around, but they probably did the same thing with Bernie, where they're just like, well, Bernie supported Biden, you should too. So, but yeah, it doesn't.
My name is Brett Meiselas with the Midas.
It does not change the fact that I thought I was voting for peace. I thought the MAGA movement represented a breakaway from the neocon establishment. All these appointments are giving me the ick. Somebody talk me off the
Touch Network. Remember to hit subscribe and help us get to 3.5.
That wasn't a Trump supporter, so let's just be fair there, okay?
Million subscribers. So I've been telling.
But there are some. I think that the better way to frame this is Trump voters. People who voted for Trump are now feeling betrayed. It's the Trump supporters are not panicking. Trump supporters will never panic, because they will always think that Trump daddy is doing whatever is good for them, even if it's literally fucking them.
Telling you that these Trump voters are unfortunately going to have to...
My God, they can literally just be going like, yeah, what? He's not, what? Ow, can you, I mean, a little lube, please. Ow.
learned their lesson the hard way, and that is exactly what we are seeing right now. I had a feeling this would happen. I just didn't realize it would happen so quickly. Many Trump voters are now freaking out about Trump's cabinet picks. Here are just a few examples. A Trump-supporting comedian named Dave Smith writes about reports that Marco Rubio is going to be picked for Secretary of State. Quote, Marco Rubio is a disaster, might as well give...
God, I feel like they're coming to our smaller channels to see like, oh, what are these guys talking about? Because we really don't have a new narrative to spin.
Liz Cheney of the State Department, awful sign, end quote. And just look at this right now. There are tons of comments with Trump voters furious at the direction Trump wants.
All right, you got Jackson Hinkle there. He was the one that was like Trump, socialist Trumper
to take the
or whatever.
Journalist Glenn Greenwald, who has been very Trumpy, said, quote, Trump often deviated from the views of his top advisors, but Trump's last three appointees, Elise Stefanik, Mike Waltz, and Rubio, are warhawks, fully aligned with the worst prongs.
Yeah, let's be real here. Like, if you're one of those guys that was like, well, Trump's anti-war, you know, I kind of also think Bernie's a little base, but this is why I think Trump is better. I really do think that you got taken, and you guys should feel foolish, because this is as brazen as you can get as far as getting the neocons into power, especially Marco Rubio. Come on.
A bipartisan D.C. consensus. Trump supporter Jackson Hinkle wrote about Elise Stefanik's appointment to be
Jackson
UN
Hinkle,
ambassador.
really?
Quote, breaking, Trump has selected Zionist and pro-Ukraine warmonger Elise Stefanik.
It's so weird that for just a hot second, he was like one of those Nazbol dudes.
As UN ambassador, horrible choice and a complete betrayal to MAGA. A popular MAGA account called Wall Street Silver wrote, quote,
he is a total Russian asset, and I think that he's doing it like, please, Russia. It's like, ugh.
Marco Rubio is a neocon. Not sure why Trump nominated him for Secretary of State. Here's some other comments from Trump supporters. They say, quote, very worrying picks. Let's hope he stays committed to his reign of peace. I mean, do you know the guy?
No.
Here's another one, disgusting betrayal of everyone that voted for an American First promise and agenda. Boy, these picks are awful. Trump is sinking faster than the Titanic. It's over, I'm afraid. Had a few fun days after the election where things were looking promising. Was fun while it lasted. Dallas News reporter Cole Lyle.
Yeah, see, now this is where if you are a Trump supporter and you're a diehard, you should worry about this, because these are the people that push him over the edge. Also, you have to take into account that it wasn't necessarily him getting more voters. You have to understand that over 12 million people who voted in the 2020 election didn't even come out. And those were the ones that voted for Biden. So this was kind of the reverse, where like they were doing that thing where they're trying to be like, well, Republicans don't come out. Yeah, well, Democrats stayed home this time. They really, and then on top of that, you had the weird thing that happened where they didn't vote down ballot. They voted for Trump, and then they voted for people like AOC. Like, there were a lot in her district that did that, which is crazy to me. But
notes about Trump's appointment of Fox host Peter Hegseth to be the Secretary of Defense. Lyle says, quote, just got a text from a staffer on the Senate Armed Services Committee working for a conservative senator.
Yeah. Who's, excuse me, but what the actual fuck? Even in a Republican majority, this is going to go over like a lead balloon. Yeah, the DOD is not going to put him over.
Who said, quote, excuse me, but what in the actual F? Even in a Republican majority, this is going to go over like a lead balloon. I could read hundreds and hundreds of these, but I think you get the point. RFK supporters on an RFK subreddit are already freaking out. They are asking literally, saying, totally have we been duped? Yes. The poster.
Oh, well, at least you did. All right. At the very beginning, though, to use that as your header and to not say the RFK thing at the beginning, this is, again, I'm just trying to point out the bias in the media, whether it's left or right. So this is part of it. Sorry.
Writes, quote, I thought I was voting for peace.
Come on, Midas,
I thought the MAGA movement represented a break away from the neocon establishment. All these appointments are giving me the ick. Somebody talk me off the ledge. It's like, could you please do your research on this?
Stop it.
This guy, how could you possibly have been duped? Do you ever listen to Donald Trump's?
Why do we keep inventing things that don't even need to be reinvented? Just say it's freaking gross. Just say disgusting. Like the ick. What?
Speak ever. I hate to break it to you, but Trump is assembling one of the most pro-war neocon cabinets that we have ever seen.
Their new speak. I don't like it at all. It gives me the ick.
Before we even get to the complete and utter incompetence we are seeing, Arab Americans in Dearborn who went for Trump in the election have now written Trump a letter begging him to work towards a ceasefire in Gaza. But meanwhile, it appears that literally all of Trump's national security appointments have not only been people who don't...
Oh, it's almost like I told you so on that one. And I'm going to rub that one in the face of anybody that thought that this was going to go any differently, because on election day, I had somebody just be like, "Yeah, well, that's a prerogative. They're the ones with more at stake." Okay,
on a ceasefire at all.
Okay.
These are people who want to see Israel annex either Gaza, the West Bank, or both. One Dearborn resident told Slate, quote, "Trump came to Dearborn and made a lot of promises," adding that residents he has spoken to are wondering what Trump will do for Palestinians. This resident said he now thinks it's obvious, quote, "It is as clear as day that he is playing us. I think he is going to target us. That's what he is going to do. He is going to target our families, and it is going to hurt. So I think we are about to find out." And for the folks in...
You know what you're not going to have around, like, wall-to-wall coverage on leftist programs that supported your cause. Even the majority report is restructuring because they understand just how ineffective that was, and just like what it was, number one, doing to their psyche, and then number two, what it was doing like to the people that were starting to be like, well, I'm gonna withhold my vote anyway because I can't support Kamala and genocide. But then you have these people that were like, well, I'm not only not going to support her, I'm going to vote for the other guy who said that just because he didn't use the term genocide. It's literally in the messaging, and they have such short memories, or they just didn't hear it, that Jared Kushner was like, yeah, it's great beachfront property. We are totally going to go in and take it. But no, you know what? Anybody who brought that up, you were just a Zionist shill, apparently, so whatever.
In Dearborn, here is Marco Rubio in his own words. Watch this.
Senator Rubio, will you call for ceasefire?
No, I will not.
Gaza?
On the contrary.
Rubio,
are you filming it?
Wait,
I want you guys to get this. I want them to destroy every element of Hamas they can get their hands on.
There you go.
These people are vicious animals.
Trump has also picked evangelical Mike Huckabee to be the U.S. ambassador to Israel. Huckabee believes that Israel has a right to annex Gaza and the West Bank.
I literally just got a pit in my stomach just thinking of everybody that's going to die because of that asshole.
He thinks that Palestinians should have to find a home elsewhere. An Israeli newspaper notes, quote, his appointment, Huckabee's, combined with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's appointment of the next Israeli ambassador to the U.S., indicates that annexation could be at the forefront of any political agenda in the coming months. And Peter Hegseth, that Fox host who Trump appointed to be Secretary of Defense, he also believes that Israel should annex Gaza and the West Bank. And in addition to all of that,
somebody said something really funny in the comments on Twitter earlier today about this guy, where it's like 3 times he's been married 3 times. You know he sucks.
Trump's win continues to destroy the personal lives of the people who voted for him. A divorce lawyer online wrote the following, quote, I had 14 potential new clients schedule consultations for divorce over the past 3 days. For context, a phenomenal week would be scheduling at least 5. Further context, November is the slowest month of the year for new divorce cases.
Yeah, at least people are starting to realize that it's like, oh, my husband's a chauvinist. And the one thing that I was looking into is the age demographic of the people getting divorced. It's people in their 20s and 30s.
And we are seeing examples of this in our own comments here at the Midas Touch Network. A Midas Touch viewer named Nancy wrote to us and said, quote, I am divorcing my MAGA husband. Another commenter wrote, quote, I broke off my engagement.
Yeah, but be careful if you're going based off internet comments, because that could just be somebody lying just to give you some, like, again, you got to be very sus with that kind of shit. I mean, this is the definition of anecdotal evidence, but
with my pro-Trump fiance, he would manipulate me by saying I needed to respect our differences in beliefs. Never, never, never again with anyone who is pro-Trump in any way. And as this commenter told us, quote,
all right, for one of my members that here, it's on my Discord, this is what keeps smoking. Somebody just IM'd me. They're like, what is that smoke?
Many of us are separating from people who have completely different morals. It isn't political, it is moral. Political Junkie 595 said to us, quote, and agree to disagree involves, like, I like bourbon, you like beer. Yeah. Not my moral compass allows me to vote for a convicted felon who is also an admitted predator, a chronic liar.
Actually, funny enough, this isn't the stuff where that's not the line for me. It's if you are like, I don't believe in trans rights. Fuck you, then. Get the hell out of here. Or I don't believe immigrants are, people. I don't believe that women are, like, if you don't believe in equal citizenship for women and immigrants, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, like, or a pathway to citizenship for immigrants, but no.
And a power-hungry lunatic. And we are seeing this sort of
I almost
personal
did the thing where they're like, oh, you could clip that and just be like, look, he wants open borders.
fallout in people's lives across the board. Lily tells us, quote, I stopped talking to my sister and my niece because they voted for Trump. This other commenter wrote, quote, my husband disowned his sisters because they voted for Trump.
What took you so long? That's actually what, like, I hate to be that guy, but what the hell took you so long to jump on
Broke
this?
down in tears the next
like,
day
now
because
you're
he,
doing
as a
it?
veteran with service-related Parkinson's, felt betrayed that they would vote for a draft dodger who considers him a sucker and loser. He also cried for the loss of his country to this wannabe dictator. Sandra writes, quote, my best friend of over 50 years voted for Trump. We no longer speak. This commenter tells us, quote, my best friends and my brother have all bragged about voting for Trump. I am now looking for new best friends and want nothing to do with my brother, have not spoken to them.
Yeah, I mean, all right. So, for instance, in my own family, I got a little bit of division over this stuff, and I'll be honest, it's not. I don't see it fixing itself anytime soon. But realistically, I don't hate my brother, for liking Trump, or my sisters, or I just think they're dumb. But whatever. And also, I legit think they are just burying their heads for convenience sake, because they're all vibes based, like everything that gives them the happy vibes. But you know what? Look at the left and how they reacted to Kamala, and like I was on that train too. So come on.
Since and have no intentions of ever doing so until they apologize.
Again, hard line if they're talking about dehumanizing people, or if they're literally saying how these people shouldn't have rights. Okay, good line. But if you're just like, well, they like Trump, I don't like them. It's like. Or they vote, especially if they just voted for Trump, and it's just like they're not even a supporter. God, I can't imagine that. Like, I got so many friends that admit that they voted for Trump, but they're like, yeah, but I still think he's an asshole. And then I actually have a friend that he's kind of the reason I made the video I did yesterday about Dave Smith, where he's got buyer's remorse. He's starting to see. He's just like, oh, these are all neocon picks. Like, oh, this is like way worse than I thought it was going to be. Like, he was freaking out way worse than anybody on the left was.
But some people are acknowledging those who stepped up for them. Princess Buttercup tells us, my husband voted for me and his children on Tuesday. I feel so sorry for the women who are with partners that voted against them and their children. We are white in deep red Alabama.
Sorry, my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
And he's got rewarded a couple times this week for doing a good job. My only solace this week was that I married a good man. Sandra. Lucy Ann tells us, my boyfriend did the opposite. He's a Southern lifelong Republican. He's so disgusted by Trump and the state of the party that he got his butt to the polls and voted for Harris. The overturning of Roe really pushed him over the edge. He's a real one for that, and a good example for our son of how real men stand up for what's right, no matter what team you are on. Love that. Thank you, Lucy, and thanks to your boyfriend. Mike says, quote, I voted for Harris not because my wife wanted me to, not because my sister-in-law is gay, not because my child is non-binary, not because my best friend is trans. I did it because I think
all these are very good reasons to vote for Kamala.
All people, whether I personally know them or not, deserve dignity, respect, and equal rights. It's even more baffling when people vote against the interests of their friends, family, or even themselves. Thank you so much, Mike,
you gotta love the people that like they are supporters of Trump, and they're just like, well, what the hell? Why does nobody like me anymore? What? It's just like, dude. And then I got trans friends. I got a black friend. Like, it's always those guys.
I love that. This Trump voter is upset that he has to hide the fact that he is a Trump voter in order to get with liberal women. This is just a new level of creepy.
Oh, I saw this on Twitter.
Let's make one more video for my little friend here, because I found a perfect example of a MAGA man openly admitting that he lies about his political view to get with liberal women. Listen
Being a
up.
straight white dude that likes Trump but is only into liberal women is a lot like being in the closet, because it's like they're going to ask you about it eventually. And you have to say what we all say, which is, yeah, I don't really follow politics. But, like, deep down, you're, like, actually, like, very involved. It's just, like, that's how it is, bro.
You're a piece of shit.
I've met a lot of conservatives.
you view them as just another piece of ass. Dude, she's such a, oh, God. Ladies, it's going to be rough out there.
And they're beat. They are beat. Liberal women, a lot of times, yeah, it can be problematic, but, like, at least they're hot, and sweet, and they'll rub your hair at night. But conservative women are really...
This fucking asshole.
Please, and you gotta kind of be like a giga chat around them all the time, and it gets exhausting. It's like sometimes I just want to like lay in bed and eat chips. I don't want to be working on the farm constantly. Like, why do you need me to be pushing a wheelbarrow all the time? there's levels to this, man. You got to be discreet. You got to be really good at it. And it's not that hard once you get used to it. You just like lie a lot. If you can just lie really well, liberal women, and just like make them think that you aren't really into politics, and everything works out. It's totally fine.
And one of the weirdest developments of the election is that MAGA voters are so angry right now. Like, they got what they wanted. Now their pro-democracy friends won't talk to them.
Ladies, just remember this, especially if you guys are around the age of 20 something, you might want to really look out for this kind of stuff. I'm sorry. Like, this sucks for your generation. Millennial women, you might want to definitely take the win on this one and just be like, okay, our guys were not that bad. Holy shit.
And now they don't know what to do. Listen to this woman explain why she thinks that they are so mad. Watch.
I just saw a creator say that the reason conservatives are so mad that liberals are kicking them out of their spaces is because now they have to be with other conservatives 24/7. And baby, good golly gee, that is the take. That is absolutely 100%
that's a good one.
correct. They don't want to be around each other all the time because it's miserable over there. The fun is over here. Do you know what's fun? Eras Tour. Do you know what's fun? Broadway, giggling, twerking, kikiing, making friendship bracelets with your besties.
I don't know what kikiing is.
That's fun. But what do they have that's fun? It quite simply isn't fun to hate people all the time. To be clear, they want to hate. They do want to hate.
Wait. They got tractor pulls. Come on.
Just don't want to hate 24/7. They want to take a break from hating sometimes to come over here and laugh and kiki and giggle it up and have a good time. But baby, you made your choice. Okay, so now you've just got to be filled with hate 24/7. And those are your full-time people. The racists, the bigots.
I had a bunch of liberal people just probably, hey, I watch NASCAR. Fuck you.
Those are your full-time folks. And you may hate it there, but I love that for you.
You know
Here's
what?
an owner of a
that's totally fair. I got that from watching wrestling, where a bunch of people, like, if they find out, especially if I watch like WWE, they're just like, wait, so are you kind of into Trump then? It's like, no. Oh man, that is unfortunate that you even think that.
Small business in a blue state who obnoxiously and publicly celebrated Trump's win and then whined that she lost customers after she first wrote, along with a photo of a Trump won yard sign, quote, for all those.
All right. I saw this one going around. For all those people shouting "F you" to all the Trump lawn signs this morning, pace yourself. So this is a stock photo from the site where you can get the sign. You know how I know this? Because I've used this in a thumbnail before, and it's the same exact template. I'm not even kidding. This was funny because I didn't even have to do much work to like edit it into the picture, because it was on the White House lawn. And because of these bushes, the bushes were the same color in front of the White House lawn. So I was just like, boop, just use the picture. Didn't even have to crop it. So yeah, that's kind of funny.
Those people shouting F you to all the Trump lawn signs this morning.
So I'm going to take this as this totally happened, guys. Yeah, this was totally real.
Pace yourself wouldn't want you to get a sore throat. And then a few days later, as customers stopped going to her business, she wrote a long message saying, if you're not going to support Republican businesses anymore, then you damn well better know who you work for and where your paycheck is coming from, where you're buying groceries, buying your gas, going out to eat.
Well, it sounds like nobody wants to work for you, so I'm actually going to
going to see entertainment, shopping, using your travel plans because most businesses are Republican, blah, 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 blah. I support all businesses.
I hate when they do that. Okay, no, I'm going to read that. But not all, but most, especially self-employed ones and farmers. Funny thing is, you have been supporting them your whole lives. Do you really think, is what she meant to say, this is the first time they have voted Republican? Good luck with that choice. I support all businesses and all people, no matter who you voted for. I wonder if she boycotted Nike or anybody. Like, I don't know about that. There's this weird thing that we can do to scour your social media, but they blocked you because you're a clown. I mean, that is a proper emote. We are all Americans, and we should be supporting of each other no matter what race, gender, sexual orientation, or religious. Actually, okay, this last part here, we could totally agree with that. Again, broken clock syndrome. See, look, she can even be right with being so wrong. She can be right at least once in this post. So, do you really think that, Democrats and libs are just they never get it right? Never. Like, come on. Disingenuous assholes.
This is an all people, no matter who you voted for. We are all Americans, and we should be supporting each other no matter what race, gender, sexual orientation, or religion you are. Okay, good luck with that, I guess. And we're now seeing other businesses already impacted by Trump's plans. In Ohio, a state that voted for Trump, thousands of layoffs are now confirmed going into 2020.
Yeah, but they're saying that this is, it's under Biden. It's under Biden. It's like, yeah, but you guys refuse to do the same thing where you're like, look, the stock market just went so skyrocketed. My futures are going to the moon. But then you're like, wait a minute. They're doing what in anticipation for Trump? That's totally the Biden problem, old man problem.
Businesses are cutting down their workforce in anticipation of Trump's planned tariffs. And you could see a list of these businesses here that are laying folks off to prepare. So I hate to say that you're going to have to learn the hard way, Trump voters, but you are. It's unfortunate that we have to be on the sinking.
Again, I saw PepsiCo on there. I hate to say it. I don't think that one was in anticipation for Trump because that was way before the election. So again, not fair. See, I want to know which companies are actually doing it for the tariffs. This is why you have to be careful with reporting things like this. And this is why I always take the Midas touch with a grain of salt, because they pull shit like that.
Ship along with you. But I hope if nothing else, now is the time for these folks to learn some hard lessons. And we are going to be here to expose this administration every single day and bring you the truth. So if you're with us.
All right. Yeah. He's going to say like and subscribe, Midas touch. But honestly, right now, I'm not sure if I would even do that. I'm sub, but they're as I said, I don't like the way like that they do this biased news thing, and they really are part of the problem, because you have a lot of people that are just like, I don't trust news. I don't trust these news sources because it's all too biased. It's like, yeah, that is that right there, because they can't even report on the things that are, substantive to the argument and the issues, like specifically the tariff issue, where you have, I know that it was Jeep specifically, Chrysler. They were the ones that were like, no, we're not going to renew a plant that they were talking about reopening, and that's actually right by me. And they were just like, yeah, well, we're not right by. It's like, hour away or whatever, but it's yeah, they are not going to be reopening. Funny enough, actually, the Pepsi plant that's also closing is about an hour away from me. Yeah, but that was not because of the Trump tariffs at all. Now, I know that the Jeep one, that was kind of my point, was that it is a little bit of it had something to do with the tariffs, where I do know that they don't even want to fuck with it. They're just like, yeah, we'd rather just close shop than even deal with this. So you guys have fun. Yeah, but as I said, even the way, here, I still got it up. Trump supporters panic as reality hits hard. Half the people that you brought up were barely what I could consider Trump supporters. That one was the one woman was even just saying, "Oh, so I vote Republican and this is what happens." It's like, well, okay. It's it depends. Are you brazen about it? With the way that she posted about that Trump sign, I'm going to go out on a limb and just say that, yeah, you might just be an asshole. And maybe people don't want to be around an asshole. Anyway, I'm trying to be as fair as I possibly can with this stuff, because what's the point? What's the point of doing the thing? I'm sorry if I bursted anybody's bubble. I'm sorry if I didn't, pat your back or rub your back the right way with the right information to make you feel good about this post-election stuff. I'm just trying to be as real as possible. So, yes, there are some Trump supporters that have buyer's remorse, but I think that's more so the centrist Trump voters that took a chance, and then the first week, it only took 7 days for them to go, crap. So, hey, you know what? If you're a Trump supporter, you need to reconcile with that. It's on you now. You know what? Next 4 years, this shit's on you. If there's one thing that's good to come from this, is that I don't have to sit here and worry about that or worry about protesting the Democrats with Gaza anymore. I mean, that issue just went right out the door. So, and the sad part is just how quickly it really did. Like you got so many shows that just kind of abandoned talking about Gaza because they're just like, yeah, we're going to be super depressed talking about this now, way more depressed than we were before. It's like, what? Yeah, okay, yeah, consistency. Anyway, if you have something to say about this, leave a comment. Definitely let me know what you think. I know that there's a lot of Trump supporters that even just reading the title, they're just like, what do you mean I have buyer's remorse? It's kind of like, bro, do you not know how this works? Do you not get the YouTube game? I guess you don't, but whatever. You clicked on my video anyway. No, but I do appreciate you guys checking out my stuff. Even if you got a contrary opinion, I hope that this is a place that you can at least come to vent it out and let me know what you think. If you truly hate me, let me know that too. But if you can, leave a like. I am dead serious about this. It's free. Come on, guys. Like, it's so easy. Can you just hit that like button for me? It really helps me out in the algorithm. And then, yeah, if you're not already sub to the channel. Come join the community. Come join the fun. So, with that being said, I'll see you in the next one.